Hi, Cassandra. I am happy to set up a meeting with you as well if you want, but I thought this might be the lowest cost way to give you some help, and this way you can watch it over and over. So I'm just going to make you a video on the basics of adding new pages to the site, and then if you still want to talk after that, we can definitely set up a meeting. I'm busy tomorrow, but I could fit you in later in the week. So the first thing we do, obviously, is we come down here to the pages, and you can see all of the pages. If you want to start blank, you can just hit this Add New button. There's a couple of things to know here, I guess. Number one is, I'm assuming you're not going to be adding something to this residential area, but if you are, we would probably need to help you with this menu thing so that this custom menu shows up and that, when you go to each page, it's highlighted over the correct thing, and we'd have to update this menu as well. But that's not difficult to do. So if that's what it is, that's fine. You can just duplicate it, and you won't add it to the it won't show right away, and we can just add it once it's ready to go. In most instances, I think what I'm going to encourage you to do is find a page that's very similar to what you already want. So if it's one of these high performance pages and you want to add another high performance page and you like this, you think you're going to do something with a bunch of bulleted lists like there are here, then duplicate that page. If it's going to be, something like this with 4 across and some buttons, then duplicate that page. That's really, I think, what's going to save you the most time, is to find a page that's already set up in a similar way to what you think you're going to want to do. And then you're just going to come back here in the back end, and you can see when you hover over each one of these, there's a duplicate option. So you can just hit duplicate on that. It keeps everything the same. It's just basically you now have an exact duplicate of it. You would change the name of it up here. I would also encourage you to edit this permalink because you don't want the link in the website to be this, so you can just come in here and edit that and call it that. Lower cases, no spaces. Put in dashes if you want to separate words on it. And then here we are. You're looking at the edit view mode that I think you're a little bit familiar with already from other videos that I've sent you. So then you can just come in here and update the text, move things around as needed. If you need to split one of these columns, you can split a column, and you can, again, just duplicate things and drag them around and then update them as needed. So you've got some headlines here, you've got some blocks that you can work with. If this needs to go away, you can just delete that whole row. If it needs to update the video, you can just come in here and put a new video in instead of that one. Basically uses all of the principles from some of the previous videos that I've sent you. And then, probably in most instances, you're going to need just a little bit of help at the end to get it finished up. Some of these things, finding and crop, maybe you're familiar, maybe I misjudged, but, you'll want to crop an image to the same size as this to replace something in here so that it has consistency of size. Same with some of these images and stuff that are in here. But yeah, for the most part, I would just duplicate the page, swap out the text with what you want, and if you're comfortable, swap out the images as well, and you're pretty much good to go. Nobody's going to be able to get to the page until we add it to the navigation. So I think you should feel comfortable just doing that. We don't want it sitting there forever. Google will eventually index it, and somebody could click directly into it from a web search. But, for a week or two, you can work on something, and it's just going to be here. Nobody's going to accidentally stumble across your page in progress. You can also just come right over here. And, you leave it as a draft. We can save this as a draft. And then nobody can stumble across it at all. it won't become public until you hit publish here. So you could just keep making edits, you know, duplicating things, moving them around, editing the text as needed. And instead of hitting publish here each time, we just hit save draft, and then it's a drafted page. Yeah, that is the basics of creating a new page on the website. And if you don't need help at the end, finishing up a couple of little things, then the next step would be you would publish it, and then you would come here to Appearance, and you would go to Menus. And then so here's our primary menu. There's a couple of them here, so you want to make sure you're working in the right one. Primary menu is this menu here. So we could just come here to View All. We can find the test page that I just made. Oh, I can't find it. Right, it's not showing up because I haven't published the page here. Test page, edit, publish, publish. We come back over here. There's our test page. I can just check that. I can say add to menu. Puts it all the way at the bottom, and I can just drag it up to anywhere in the list. So if we want it in the high performance section, we put it there. We hit save menu. Come back over here to the front. Let's refresh. And now when we check, here's our test page right here in the menu. Those are the basics. Again, I am happy to set up a meeting to talk through some more things, but I thought it just might be best for you to have some of this basic information. Don't worry, I'll go ahead and delete this duplicate page I made and delete it from the menu as well. Thanks.